Okay, now that we've gone over this, which if you haven't watched the video about this, please go back and watch that part first because that sets everything up. We're going to actually look at the conclusion and the math. So basically, after you get a z-score, you're going to need to find the p-value, which is the same as before. There are a lot of p-values here. There's p-hat, there's regular p, and then there's the p-value. So it does get a little bit confusing. When it asks for the p-value, that p you're going to get out of the chart. So you're going to need this chart. It's the regular z-score chart. So I didn't realize that you guys aren't going to be able to see it, I don't think, based on this video. So like I can't actually show the z-score chart, but you guys know it's the original chart. I just linked it to you in Google Classroom. So basically you're just going to look it up in there, and when you look up your z-score, which is 2.16, you should get, and you guys can check this on your own, pause the video and go look it up yourself. 2.16 should give me 0.9846, okay? So I'm going back here, 0.9846, and then you need to decide if you're going to subtract from 1. So I have 0.9846, and you need to decide if you're going to subtract that by 1. Okay, so if you've shaded to the right side right here, you do need to subtract from 1. Remember, if it's to the left, you don't, and if it's to the right, you do. So we're going to do 1 minus this, and that's going to give us our p-value. Okay, so our p-value in the end of the day is going to end up being 1 minus 0.9846, which is 0.0154. Okay, so now that we have that, we're going to make a decision. So I know I'm like kind of blocking it. Let me see if I can move this. Move myself. Move. Nope. Okay, so anyway, right here it says if P is less than alpha, you're going to reject HO. If P is greater than alpha, you're going to fail to reject HO. So fail to reject means the same thing as accept, right? But it's basically you're not saying you 100% agree with it. You're just saying you don't reject it. In the same way that if a person is not guilty, you're not actually saying they're innocent. You're just saying you're not convinced that they're guilty. So if we fail to reject, that's going to mean we don't see enough evidence to reject HO. So this is more clear on the notes, so you can go look at that. Okay, so after that, you're going to state your conclusion. Okay, what we're going to say here, oh, we didn't do that. Whoops, let's go back a second. So right here, now you have to compare your p-value to alpha. Okay, so our p-value, we need to compare to alpha and see which is bigger. So our p-value here is 0.0154, and our alpha value is actually, you need to read back to the question for that. So let's go right back here. It's going to tell us our alpha here is 0.05. Alpha is sometimes referred to as the significance level. So it may give it to you in percentage form instead, in which case just convert it to a decimal. But significance level and alpha are the same thing. That's the definition. So we got what was it? Was it 0.10 or 0.05? 0.05 for alpha. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug that in. I'm on the wrong page here. 0.05 and see which one's bigger. Okay, so this one is 0.01, which is like 1 cent, and this one's like 5 cents, so this one would be bigger. So you have established that P is less than alpha. In that case, we should reject HO. Okay, so I'm going to go to the following page where I'm going to be stating the conclusion. You're going to need to state 2 sentences. The first sentence that we're going to state is we're going to say because P is less than alpha, reject HO in favor of HA. Okay, so we're rejecting HO. If it were the other way, you could say this. If P is greater than alpha, you can say you failed to reject HO, okay? So this is the first sentence. I'm going to underline in yellow what you would actually answer if this were a real question. So you would need that sentence. The next sentence that I've written below is just a template sentence. So this is like one of those that tells you like what you should write. Okay, so you're either going to say there is or there is not enough evidence to support, and then you need to insert your actual statement for HA. So in this case, if we're rejecting HO, that means we have evidence to reject them. Think of it like your boyfriend or girlfriend who cheated on you. If you're going to reject them, you sure as hell better have evidence to reject them. Well, maybe not, but think of it that way. It will help you. So if you're rejecting HO, that means you have enough evidence to reject HO because there was evidence that you found that that person was cheating on you. So anyway, I don't know if that's how they normally explain it, but that's how I explain it. So anyway, I'm going to say there is because we rejected HO right here. Everybody see right there, we rejected HO. So that means there is enough evidence. And you want to either say support or another word you could pick is show. You don't want to say prove. That's too strong of a word because you can't 100% prove whether a person's innocent or guilty. You can't. We don't know for sure. So prove is too strong a word, but I'll say support. To support, and then you're just going to go back and find what your HA is and insert it and be done with the question. So there is enough evidence to support. Let's go back. Ready? 1, 2. There we go. And this is your HA right here, to support that the percentage of people who like butter has increased. So there is enough evidence to support that the percentage of people, who like butter has increased. That, and then this red part's going to be HA. The percentage of people who like butter has increased. So you need 2 sentences, and that's the second sentence. So I'm underlining the 2 actual sentences you would really write in yellow. The one with the green star is basically just your template sentence for how you set it up. Okay, so remember, first you write HO and HA, you assume HO is true, you try and find enough evidence that HA is too far from HO for you to actually say that it's reasonable. If there's enough evidence, meaning your p-value is really, really small, a small p-value right here shows you that there's a lot of evidence because it means that you're way far away from the mean. So if you have a small p-value, it's smaller than alpha, then you're going to reject HO and you're going to say HA is true, meaning the person's guilty. You had enough evidence to show that HA is actually true. If there's not enough evidence, meaning your p-value is large, then you're going to say, not enough evidence, failed to reject HA, and you're going to go essentially with HO. Okay? That's it. So let me know if you guys have questions, and yeah, that's it. If I could end this.